2009. Taylor Lautner is 17 years old, and he's everywhere. Magazine covers, talk shows, award shows. Screaming fans mobbing him at airports. He's not just famous, he's a phenomenon, and Hollywood has a plan for him. They're going to turn him into the next great action star, the next Tom Cruise, the next Matt Damon. They've got the scripts, they've got the budgets, they've got the marketing machine ready to go. Taylor Lautner has real martial arts skills.
Tough and buff. Yeah, I mean, this kid's shredded. 4 hours of training a day. I mean, it's incredible. Oh, look at that. Corkscrew to the split.
He's got the look, he's got the youth, he's got 50 million Twilight fans ready to follow him anywhere.
I won't stand behind him.
Oh, yes, you will. I'm not kidding. Get out of here.
5 years later, the offers stopped coming. 10 years later, he's doing Netflix movies nobody watches. Today, he's an Instagram personality, married to a nurse, posting about his dogs. What happened? How does someone go from guaranteed superstar to Hollywood punchline? This is that story. The meteoric rise. Picture this. 2005, Grand Rapids, Michigan. A kid named Taylor Lautner is winning junior world championships in martial arts. Not dabbling, not taking classes at the local dojo. Winning. He's been training since he was 6 years old. He's a black belt by 8. He's competing nationally by 10.
Gold Watch Grand Championship is Taylor Lautner.
This kid can actually fight, and someone in Hollywood notices. Taylor moves to Los Angeles with his family. He's 11 years old, and he's going to be an actor. The early roles come quick, cheaper by the dozen, too. He's who? Small parts, kid stuff, nothing special. But he's working, he's learning, he's waiting for his shot. Then, in 2007, he auditions for a movie based on a vampire romance novel. The role is Jacob Black.
And Jacob and Bella start developing their relationship. Sometimes you wonder if maybe they're more.
A Native American teenager who turns into a werewolf. Taylor gets it. Twilight comes out in November 2008. It makes $400 million worldwide. Suddenly, Taylor Lautner is famous. But here's the problem. The studio doesn't think he's right for the sequel. Jacob Black becomes a major character in New Moon. He gets shredded, he gets angry, he becomes a romantic rival to the vampire. The studio looks at baby-faced Taylor and thinks he can't pull it off. They're going to recast him. Taylor Lautner refuses to let that happen. He spends months transforming his body. He puts on 30 pounds of muscle. He trains like his career depends on it. Because it does. He shows up to the studio ripped, intense, ready to prove them wrong. They keep him. New Moon shoots. And when it comes out in November 2009, Taylor Lautner becomes a global superstar overnight. The numbers are insane. New Moon makes $710 million worldwide. Taylor is on every magazine cover, Teen Choice Awards, People's Sexiest Man Alive lists.
Taylor Lautner!
Team Edward versus Team Jacob debates dominate pop culture. And Taylor is suddenly one of the most bankable young actors in Hollywood. The third Twilight movie, Eclipse, makes $698 million. Breaking Dawn. Part 1 makes $712 million. He's in the biggest franchise on the planet, and he's only 18 years old. Hollywood looks at him and sees dollar signs. They see a young actor with legitimate martial arts skills, a built-in fan base of millions, and the kind of teen idol appeal that prints money. They don't just want him for Twilight. They want him to be the next action franchise star. And Taylor wants it too. He's ready to show the world he's more than a shirtless werewolf. The action star blueprint. The pitch was perfect on paper. Taylor Lautner had everything the studios wanted in an action star. He could actually do the stunts. He'd been training in martial arts his entire life. Karate, kickboxing, taekwondo. He wasn't going to need a stunt double for every fight scene. He could move. He could sell the physicality. That's rare. And he had the audience. 50 million Twilight fans ready to follow him to his next project. Studios thought it was a guarantee. You put Taylor Lautner in an action movie. Those fans show up opening weekend, the box office explodes. You build a franchise. It's the same formula that worked for Robert Pattinson. Except Pattinson was going indie and prestige. Taylor was going blockbuster. In 2011, while still filming Twilight, Taylor stars in Abduction. It's his first leading role outside the franchise. The movie is designed specifically as an action vehicle for him. He plays a teenager who discovers his real parents were spies, and now assassins are after him. Fight scenes, chase sequences, international intrigue. The budget is $35 million. The marketing pushes Taylor as a credible action lead. This is his audition for superstardom. The movie opens in September 2011. It makes $82 million worldwide. That sounds okay until you realize the marketing budget probably matched the production budget. Abduction loses money. But worse than that, the reviews are brutal. Critics destroy it. They destroy Taylor's performance. They say he's wooden. They say he can't carry a movie. They say he's only good at taking his shirt off. But here's what's really happening behind the scenes. Studios are developing projects around Taylor. There are scripts being written. There are franchises being pitched. Producers want him for their action trilogies. They see the martial arts skills. They see the physical transformation he's capable of. They believe in the potential, but they need proof of concept. They need one breakout hit outside of Twilight, and it's not coming. The Twilight trap. Here's the problem. Nobody wanted to say out loud. Taylor Lautner was trapped by the thing that made him famous. Jacob Black made him a star, but Jacob Black was also destroying any chance he had at being taken seriously. Every role, every audition, every interview, people saw the shirtless werewolf. They didn't see an actor. They saw a teen idol. The Twilight franchise was massive, but it was also embarrassing to a huge chunk of the audience. Guys didn't watch Twilight. Critics mocked it. It was seen as vapid, silly, just hormonal teen fantasy, and Taylor was the face of that. He was Team Jacob. He was the abs. He was the guy who existed to make teenage girls scream. That's not a foundation you build an action career on. Male audiences are crucial for action movies. They're the core demographic. They buy the tickets opening weekend. They come back for sequels. They buy the merchandise. And male audiences had zero interest in watching Taylor Lautner be an action hero. To them, he was the Twilight guy. He was the competition for Bella's affection. He was everything they'd spent years making fun of their girlfriends for obsessing over. Hollywood tried to ignore this. They thought the Twilight fan base would be enough. Put Taylor in an action movie, 50 million fans show up, problem solved. But those fans wanted Jacob Black. They wanted the romance. They wanted the shirtless transformation scenes. They didn't necessarily want to watch Taylor Lautner do parkour or fight assassins. The crossover appeal wasn't there. And then there's the typecasting problem. Every time Taylor showed up on screen, directors and casting agents saw one thing. The hot guy, the love interest, the physical specimen. They didn't see range. They didn't see depth. Even when Taylor tried to show he could act, the perception was already set. He was locked into a box he couldn't break out of. Directors of prestige projects weren't calling. Christopher Nolan wasn't interested. Neither was Denis Villeneuve. The Russos weren't putting him in Marvel movies. He wasn't getting meetings for Star Wars. The big franchises that could have redefined him were going to other actors. Younger guys without the Twilight baggage. Guys who could bring in male audiences. Guys Hollywood actually believed in. The projects that should have worked. After Twilight ended in 2012, Taylor had a window, a brief moment where he could have reinvented himself. The franchise was over. He was free from Jacob Black. He could choose projects that showed range. Hollywood was still somewhat interested. The offers were still coming, just not the massive ones. This was his chance, and he chose wrong, repeatedly. In 2013, he takes a supporting role in Grown Ups 2. Yes, Adam Sandler's comedy sequel that nobody asked for. Taylor plays a fraternity president who antagonizes Sandler and his friends. It's not a leading role. It's not dramatic. It's not action. It's broad, silly comedy. The movie makes money because it's Adam Sandler. but critics destroy it. Taylor's performance is forgettable. This doesn't help his case. The problem is strategy, or lack of it. Taylor needed to pick one lane and commit. Either go full action star and find the right franchise, or pivot to drama and prove he can act, or lean into comedy and become a comedic actor. Instead, he's bouncing between genres without a clear identity. Hollywood doesn't know what to do with him. And worse, audiences don't know what to expect from a Taylor Lautner movie. In 2016, he gets cast in Scream Queens, Ryan Murphy's horror comedy TV series. It's a supporting role. He plays a doctor with a dark secret. The show has a cult following, but it's not a massive hit. Taylor is fine in it. He shows some comedic timing. He's self-aware about his image. But this is television. This is a step down from movie stardom. The fact that he's taking TV roles in his mid-20s is a red flag. Movie stars don't go to TV unless the movie offers have dried up. And they have dried up. By 2016, Taylor isn't getting offered action franchises anymore. He's not getting leading roles in studio movies. The phone isn't ringing the way it used to. He's 5 years removed from Twilight, and Hollywood has moved on. There's always a new young actor, always someone younger, fresher, without the baggage. The industry is brutal that way. Each failure made the next opportunity smaller. That's how Hollywood works. You get a big shot with Abduction. It fails. Okay, you get a smaller shot with Tracers. That fails. Now you get a supporting role in Grown Ups 2, then TV, then straight to Netflix. Each step down the ladder makes it harder to climb back up, and Taylor kept stepping down. The quiet fade out. By 2018, something strange happens. Taylor Lautner stops trying to be a movie star. He's 26 years old, and he's essentially retired from leading roles. He's not announcing retirement. He's not doing farewell tours. He's just quietly fading out. The Instagram posts keep coming. The public appearances continue. But the career is over. He shows up in supporting roles occasionally. Small parts, favor to a director, a weekend of work. Nothing that requires commitment. Nothing that requires him to carry a movie. He's gone from franchise leading man to, "Hey, isn't that the guy from Twilight?" cameo appearances. The transition happens so gradually that most people don't even notice. One day he's everywhere, then he's nowhere. On social media, Taylor seems happy. He's posting about his wife, Tay Dome, a nurse he married in 2022. He's posting about his dogs. He's doing comedy sketches making fun of his Twilight past. There's a self-awareness there. He knows what happened. He knows he's not a movie star anymore, and he seems okay with it. That's either healthy acceptance or really good PR. His wife even changes her name to Taylor Lautner to match his. They're both Taylor Lautner now. It becomes a running joke on social media. It's cute. It's wholesome. It's also a guy leaning into being famous for being famous, rather than being famous for his work. That's influencer territory. That's not movie star territory. The podcast appearances start. Taylor does interviews where he talks openly about the pressure of Twilight, the body image issues, the anxiety of being a teen idol. He's reflective, honest, even funny about it. People appreciate the vulnerability, but it also confirms what everyone suspected. The career didn't turn out how he wanted. He's processing it publicly. That's not what thriving movie stars do. What went wrong? So, what happened? How does someone with everything going for them crash this completely? It's not one thing. It's a perfect storm of bad decisions, bad timing, and bad luck. Start with the projects. Abduction and Tracers were both mediocre movies. You can't build a career on mediocre. Taylor needed a great action film. He needed his John Wick, his Mad Max, his Mission Impossible moment. Something that made people forget Twilight and see him as a legitimate action star. It never came. Then there's the typecasting problem. Hollywood decided Taylor was the hot guy and nothing else. Once that perception sets in, it's nearly impossible to break. He needed a director who believed in him enough to cast him against type, someone who saw potential beyond the abs. That director never came calling. Or if they did, Taylor's team didn't recognize the opportunity. The Twilight stigma was real, and it was lethal. Male audiences never accepted him. They couldn't see past Jacob Black. And action movies need male audiences. You can't build a franchise on teenage girls alone, especially when those girls grow up and move on to the next thing. Taylor needed to win over a completely different demographic, and he never figured out how. Bad timing played a role, too. Taylor's peak moment was 2009 to 2012. That was right before the superhero explosion completely took over Hollywood. If Taylor had come up 5 years earlier, maybe he gets cast in a major franchise before Marvel and DC locked up every action slot. But by the time he was available, all the big roles were taken. Chris Hemsworth was Thor. Chris Evans was Captain America. The Chris's won. Taylor lost. There's also the talent question, and this is uncomfortable but honest. Maybe Taylor just wasn't good enough. The martial arts skills were real. The physical transformation was impressive. But acting isn't just about looking the part. It's about presence, charisma, depth. Watch Robert Pattinson in literally anything post-Twilight. The guy can act. He's got range. He's interesting. Taylor never showed that. He was fine, serviceable. But fine doesn't make you a movie star. Extraordinary does. His team failed him too. Someone should have told him to turn down grown-ups too. Someone should have told him to be more selective, to wait for the right project, even if it meant not working for a year. Movie stars can afford to be picky. They should be picky. Taylor took everything that came his way, and it made him look desperate. Desperate isn't a good look in Hollywood. The saddest part? He had the skills. The martial arts background was legitimate. In another timeline, with better projects and better luck, Taylor Lautner could have been what Hollywood promised he'd be, the next great action star. Instead, he's a cautionary tale about how quickly Hollywood forgets you, about how one franchise can define and destroy you at the same time, about how being famous isn't the same as having a career. Hollywood promised Taylor Lautner everything and delivered nothing. If this story hit you, smash that subscribe button. Drop a comment about which fallen star I should cover next. Thanks for watching.